Hi everyone, welcome to the Saturday's episode of the program Shagalinko TV. It's good to have all of you here. Shagalinko TV for first timers, it comes every Tuesdays and Saturdays, 2 p.m. West African time. We talk about topical issues, issues that affect humanity, and we ask you to also join us by dropping your comments, telling us what you think about our topic of discussion, and then we have our guests here to also discuss and bring out the best of the topic. Today it's a full house. We're looking at what are some of the bad habits, of telephone that could be annoying. Maybe publicly, what we do publicly with our phones, or when we're alone, what are some of the very annoying habits? I've got my wonderful guests here. I've got Ofuani Praise. He's a counselor, he's a peer educator, and he's a journalist all the way from Lagos. I've also got Chisom Christabel. Is a marketing officer in Kano, and Valentine CVC is also going to be joining us soon. Valentine CVC is an auditor, and he also lives in Kano. If you're watching us right now, would like you to tell us where you're watching from. The comment section is there. Please tell us where you're watching from. Drop your comments for us. What are some of the telephone habits? Maybe someone has done it, and you've seen people do on the program. Let me start with Ofuani Praise. I'll be asking you a few things. Praise, what are some of the telephone bad habits that you've seen publicly that people do? They may not be conscious of it anyway.
Hello, good afternoon, Emmanuel. Thank you. I'm super excited to be on the show this afternoon. Thank you for having me here once again. And to our viewers all around the world, I want to appreciate you for tuning in into the program today. There are several of them, several unhealthy phone habits. You can let me just highlight one or two for now. For instance, texting while walking. You see someone walking on the street and then he or she's texting. That could lead to a whole lot of things. One of which is it could lead to accidents. That person might, trip over a stone and then fall down. So a whole lot. That person could even walk into a moving vehicle. That's one. And then another is the issue of you being in a public space like a hotel or even a public transport system, and then you're speaking out and then shouting, disturbing the peace of the bus. Maybe I think some people will think that, shouting will make the other person on the other side to hear you very well. But hey, I guess most people really need to be educated, on the use of phones generally. So those are like two of such habits for now that I'd like to, speak about. So there's several of them, like I said, and I believe teaching people how to get healthy phone habits will go a long way to helping them. Thank you, Emmanuel.
Yeah, thank you, for any praise for that. We have Valentine CVC, also known as Val. Val, if you can hear me, I'd like you to tell us a few things that you think are some of the bad habits people do when it comes to phone. Phone bad habits that could be annoying. What are them for you? Can you hear me, Val? Okay. I'll come back to Val, maybe when his network connects well. I got some messages here, and please, if you're watching us, do share this link so that others could join us. it's a very interesting topic that sometimes people even make these mistakes they don't realize. Yeah. So Val, are you there now?
Yeah, I heard you.
Please go on and let us.
Sir.
Okay, so go on.
I heard
Tell
you,
us
sir.
what
Sorry,
you
my
think are the
network
bad phone habits.
here is kind of very, very bad. I'm been trying to reconnect and connect it back. But I heard what he said.
So go on, Val, and let us know what you think. Yeah, just go. We can hear you anyway. Okay. I'll come back to Val again. Ofuani, let's take some of these messages here, and then we'll come back and ask a few more things. Um, I got a message here, and it says from someone who's watching. It says this is Ibrahim Mohammed Jamiu Adinoyi. Thank you very much for joining us. It says
Yeah, I can
this is
hear
a fantastic
you now,
topic.
sir.
Thank you. Okay, so go on, go on. Let us know what are some of the telephone bad habits that could be annoying. And for those of you watching us right now, the comment section is there. Please drop your comments. We'll read them. We'll read them, and also let us know where you're watching us from. Okay. Drop your comments in the comment section. You just see it right under there. We're streaming live on
Okay,
YouTube and
okay. Hello,
Facebook. Yeah.
everyone. Good afternoon. Like I say, my name is Valentine, Kano base.
Um, okay. If you get us later, do join us. So, Ofwani, could you read this from Asia? It's from Karim Jackson. Hello, Ofwani. Can you read this if you see it? Okay. Okay. Let me see if
I
Val.
think this
Val, can
person
you
is
see
actually
this?
watching from Asia.
Yeah. It says
It's just saying he's watching
let
from
me
the
see.
Philippines. What's up, brothers? It's saying, what's up, brothers? That he's watching here in Asia, watching from the Philippines
Okay,
islands.
okay.
That's what it's saying. Yeah, it said, what's up,
Yeah,
brothers? Here in Asia, watching you from the Philippines island. So that's what it says.
okay. Okay, so let's come back to you, Fwani. You've said something that it could be Val, if you eventually can hear us, do let us know so that we can have your own contribution. I got this other one here from Beatrice Annan. Beatrice is from Ghana. Thank you, Beatrice. It says so informative. Yeah, Beatrice, thank you, and it's good to know that you're joining us from Ghana. Please, for those of you watching right now, do drop your comments in the comment section. It will pop up on the screen here. Tell us where you're watching us from and let us know your comments, your suggestions and ideas. What are some of the telephone habits that are annoying? Share some with us, and we will read them here as we go on. Do share the link, share the video right now so that others can join and watch. Okay. I'll take this one here, and then Ofwani, you will respond to it. It says, "Me, I feel this is from S of Beatrice. It says, "Me, I feel irritated when people shout on phone because they draw the attention of other people who are not around the place to know what they are saying, thereby causing disturbance." What what do you think about that, of Fwani?
Can you please take it again? You feel the person's. I didn't get that clearly. You said
Okay,
it feels irritated.
it says, yes, it's from S of Beatrice. It says, me,
Okay.
I feel irritated when people shout on the phone because they draw the attention of other people who are around the place to know what they are saying, thereby causing disturbance. What do you think?
Absolutely. I think I mentioned something like that earlier. I mentioned something
Yeah,
like that earlier.
yeah.
It's so disturbing when you find someone, shouting on top of his or her voice, whether it's I don't know whether they think the other person at the other end will not hear them until they shout. So I really don't get, but it's so disturbing when you see such things happening. People must be enlightened to the point of knowing that it's not by shouting that the other person at the other end will hear you. You can actually whisper through the phone, and then the other person on the other end will hear you. So I believe people need enlightenment. They need to be educated so that they can be able to know that not you won't get the other person will not get to hear you until you shout. I mean, they really need to be educated on that. It's so annoying, like that contributor said. It's so annoying. It's so disheartening. I mean, at times you'll just feel like going to meet the person and what is really
And
happening?
knock
I
his
mean,
head.
please put down your voice. Yes, because it's really annoying. It's really, really annoying. That person was right by saying so. I mean, people really need to be educated. I don't know if there's any way of enlightening. Maybe we need to go out there into the streets and enlighten people. And funny enough, most people don't feel it is wrong. They see it as right. They see it as they are right. They are the ones that own the phone. Nobody bought it for them, so they can do whatever. But there are some things you do with what you have that will affect another person. You understand? So I feel they need to be enlightened. Some TV stations are actually doing some things in that regard. So I really want to encourage the media houses to really, you know, be at the forefront in this regard. Thank you very much, Emmanuel.
Yeah, thank you. Val, can you get us now? I want to take some messages here, but I also would like to hear from Val what he thinks about some of the things. In case you just joined us now, this is the Saturday's episode of the program Shagalinko TV, and we're looking at what are some of the phone habits that are annoying. What are some of the phone habits that a lot of people do that are annoying? Let me quickly even read some messages here, and then I'll come back to my guests and ask them a few more things. This one says, watching live from Kogi State. Thank you, Ambassador Gabari and the entire Shagalinko TV for bringing these wonderful learning opportunities to us. Always, always. Thank you very much for that. I got another one here, and it's from Chiselu Emejulu, and it says, hi everyone. The one I find very annoying is the one where people in public transport or indeed any closed public place play music from their phones without using an earpiece. I see it as bad manners.
Absolutely.
Chiselu, you are so right. That one could be very, very annoying. I mean, Praise, who wants to
Yeah,
listen to your music?
I
who,
I
who
totally
wants to
agree
listen to
with
your
her.
music?
I totally agree with her. I'm telling you. I mean, it could be very, very annoying. It would be very, very annoying. I mean, and then they won't even play it. The volume. They will just increase the volume, and it'll be so loud, and it will be disturbing others. And then you'll be wondering, is this person okay, and all that. So it's really, really annoying. Like that contributor said, it's really annoying, and they need to check it. People need to check that anyway. People need to check that. And the funny thing is,
Mm,
when you try to, caution them, they take it personal. They want to fight you.
yes,
They want. I've seen
and
a
say you are
case where
jealous.
somebody actually tried correcting. I'm telling you, I've seen a case where somebody in a illusory box tried correcting another person, and then he just flared up and started talking, and then
Mm,
it wanted to result even to
mm.
a fight.
A
So
quarrel
people
or
really need
fight,
to be
yeah.
enlightened. That's my point. Yes, yeah.
Okay,
So
Chisom
that's it.
is here now. Chisom, we can see you bright and clear. So, although I've introduced you when we started the show, that Chisom Christabel is a marketing officer living in Kano. Chisom, tell us some of the bad phone habits that you have experienced in public, where people talk that annoys others. What do you think? What are some of the bad phone habits you've seen?
Well, some of the bad phone habits I've seen, just like the other guy said, people answering call as if they're in their sitting room or anywhere. They'll be shouting. Mostly, sorry to say it, or just to specify it to Yoruba people, I've come across a
They will
Yoruba
I
cut
guy.
your
beg to
neck.
differ. I beg to differ on
The man
that.
was answering call. The next thing you hear is, shoo, Utibo. And I was like, bros, take it easy now. You're not the only one here, even with this hot weather. So at least some kind of people that you meet, you don't have any option than to just adjust to their own way of life. And even the music part, sometimes I do play loud music, but later I'll talk to myself and say, who is even going to listen to this music? So these two things are more and it's so annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you very much. Ofani, you said you beg to disagree with Chisom. So tell us what
Yeah.
you think.
Well,
Because
yeah.
someone sent a text and said, in fact, let me look for that text and read for Chisom so that you will come back, Ofani, and talk about that. Someone said, the one that gets me annoyed most is in the Apapa Wharf, that sometimes you will find an Igbo man screaming and shouting that his container hasn't gotten to to the wharf, and then he will stone his phone on the floor.
Can you imagine?
Oh, funny,
Can
please
you
talk
see
to
that?
us.
Well, it's really we can. You see, Imado, we can go on and on. The list is endless. The list is endless. There are so many. There are so many unhealthy phone habits that we put up that most people
hold
actually put up
hold on
every day without
hold
even
on,
knowing.
Ofuani.
All right.
Hold on, Ofuani. Chisom, if you can see this on
Okay.
the screen, someone is counteracting you. You see, I pray Chisom comes back. Chisom, read this one on the screen. It's from
Jesus, let me
Fumilayo.
see your answer. I know green. Now Igbo people did go out first. I
Um,
disagree with her. Even
you see,
even
I
if
even bet. You
even
know
if
when she
Igbo
said it,
man
I bet.
receive sad news safe, he's not even like a Yoruba man. Sef. An Igbo man can code anytime he receives sad news, but Yoruba bad news or not bad news, they are too loud anywhere you see them. I'm sorry to say it, I'm not insulting Yoruba people, but I just believe it's part of their nature. That's it. I believe it's part of their nature. So for me, lie on news,
Okay.
Well,
and
no,
you
no,
agree,
no.
but majority of Yoruba people, that's their lifestyle. Maybe you are different, that's why you do not agree with me. But my dear, you just have to accept.
Well, for me, Emmanuel, can I come in here?
Please go on and talk, yeah.
Yeah, please. I feel like I said, I beg to differ on that. It's not a tribal thing. I don't think it's a tribal thing. We shouldn't see it as such. Um, I feel it's a personal thing. There are Yorubas that are enlightened, just like we have Igbos and Hausas that are also enlightened. I feel these people that are involved in unhealthy phone habits are the ones that are not so enlightened on the topic. You understand me? So just the same way we have Yorubas that are loud, we also have Igbos and Hausas that are loud also. I've seen Hausa people too here in Lagos that are very, very loud. When you go to the market, you will definitely attest to this. So it's not a tribal thing like I want to, make Chisom understand. It's not a tribal thing. We have Yorubas that are enlightened, that are well educated. We also have Igbos and Hausas that are enlightened and well educated. So it's not a tribal thing. It's a personal issue. It's a personal thing. I believe if there's an understanding of this topic, people will definitely be cautious enough when they are in the public, for instance, when they're using their phones. So that's why I said I beg to differ. Thank you, Emmanuel.
Okay, let's see if Val now can hear. Val, if you can hear us, can you talk to us? We've been trying to link up with you since, but somehow network has been terrible on your end. So Val, do you have anything to say? Okay, so we'll come back to Val. Let me read a few messages here, and then I'll come back and talk with my guests. In case you just joined us, this is the Saturday's edition of Shagalinko TV, and we're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube as well. Please share the video link, the live link right now, so others can join. And when you drop your comments, do also remember to tell us where you're joining us from, where you're watching us from, so we can just know. So far, we got people from Ghana, Beatrice from Ghana watching us. Yes, Beatrice sent her message from Ghana and said very informative. And Karim J.A. Jackson says, "What's up, brother? Here in Asia, watching from the Philippines island." So we got that. And Abu, thank you so much. Abu Steven also says he's watching from Kogi State. Thank you. Chisalu, I guess, is watching from Lagos. So thank you so much for that, Chisalu. I'll be reading the messages and also just giving chance to my guests to reply. This one is from Emmanuel Chika. He says, calling and putting on hold. Oh no, Emmanuel, do drop your comments on the comment section here. Let us know what you think about our topic of discussion. We're looking at some of the annoying habits, telephone habits. You want to say something, Ofuani?
Yeah, I'm looking at it from another light. Maybe he meant someone calling another person and then the other person putting it on hold. That's what I think he meant.
Oh, okay. Yes, it's true. Yes.
That's what I think. It's actually a bad habit. Yes. So that's what I think he meant. I mean, at times you call then the other person, and then it's a bad habit because, you're calling and then the other person is putting on hold, and then it might be a very vital information that person wants to pass at that point in time. So to me, it's one bad habit that we should be cautious of. The person taking his time to call you at that point might be having a very vital information to pass. It could be a life-saving information. And then when you put it on hold, that person, it might even cost the life. So that's what I feel the person is trying to say.
Yeah. Yes. And you don't know, maybe the person is seeing you crossing the road and is trying to tell you, don't go there, don't go there.
Yes.
Chisom, I like you to read. Fumilayo came back. He said, okay, I think we've read this one. So let me take, we've read that one, but take this other one from Fumilayo and Chisom. If you can see this, do read.
Lisha, make those where they gist for keke, they call the story so that we go hear the end of the story. Yeah, you like how people.
Oh my God.
You like how people.
That's really serious.
Yes, sometimes those gist inside keke used to be interesting. Seriously, it used to be interesting. Truths. Sure, I didn't blame her. Sure. Sometimes if you just hear all those small army boys they do for keke, you say may you just start from the army boy, so that you go just go pass on to the next person. Before you know, the thing don't spread. If they ask you where you follow here this kind gist, my dear, I heard it inside keke. Or one woman was telling the other woman, all these women when they start discussing their family issues like this, some of them will be shouting. So they need to slow down so that you will just hear the end of the whole story, instead of cutting us short. So I believe that is what she's trying to say. I'm a fan of Fumilayo Musa. Thank you.
Okay, let me read this other one here. It's from Aliyu Umar Sadiq. He says, we're in a world that has been overshadowed by digital technology and social media. this has affected the level of
That's what she's
physical
trying to say.
interaction. Yeah. So this has affected the level of physical interaction common in the olden days. Last, it has done more good than harm, though. And a second time around, Aliyu says, "I am watching from Nasarawa State, Nigeria." Okay, thank you very much about that one. Chisom, if you can see this one, Karim sent this one from the Philippines in Asia. Can you read this for us, and then Ofuani can respond? Chisom, can you read this if you can see it on the screen? It's from Asia. Okay, Ofuani, if you can see it, you can read.
Karim
Any of you?
Jackson. From Karim J.A. Jackson. He said, haha, I'm sitting at a dinner meeting and all are on their phones during my prayer. They don't even take a break for God.
That happens in churches too. You find people who text and do all that in church. Ofuani, what about that?
Yeah, people do that, all in a bit of using their Bible app. I mean, it's really, really bad. Nobody comes to you to tell you, okay, this is what you're doing. All in a bit, all they want to let you know is that they're using their Bible app. It's really, really bad. It's really, really bad. I mean, you should respect others when you're when you're using your mobile phone. You must respect the presence of other persons around you. There's this one that is even most disheartening. You're with your wife or with your husband or with someone very close to you, and then all of a sudden you're talking about something very important, and then the person is busy fiddling with his or her phone. I mean, it's that one is really, really the most annoying of it all. It might be playing. I've spoken. I've been with one person before, and then we're talking on a very serious matter, and the person was, playing this game on his phone. It's really, really bad. I mean, it shows that you're not interested. Number one, you're not interested on what the other person is saying, or you're simply disrespecting that person. That's another bad or unhealthy phone habit that we really need to look at. It's really, really bad. I mean, when you're with somebody, on the phone, you should be able to respect that person. I mean, keep your phone for that few minutes you're with that person. It shows that at least you want to hear what that person has to say, and you respect that person's viewpoint at that point in time. But when the person is talking with you and then you're fiddling with your phone, I mean, it shows that whatever the person is saying, you care less, or you're not just interested, or simply you are disrespecting that person. So that's my take on that particular unhealthy phone habit. Over to you, Emmanuel.
Okay, Chisom, I'll come back to you, but let me see if Val can hear us now. Val, can you hear us? Hello, Val, can you hear us now? Okay. I don't know. Val is really having terrible times with the network. Chisom, let's come to you now. I want you to be sincere. A lot of ladies have told us how men disturb their phones. So sometimes you see some girls pick calls, and then a guy will be talking on the phone, and the first thing the girl will say is, "How did you get my number?" So, Chisom, what are some of the things men do, phone habits men do when they call girls and all that?
As a lady, I will be plain. I won't hide anything because I'm still part of those people that do ask, how did you get my number? Even if I'm the one that gave you the number, I'll still ask you, how did you get my number? To be very sure you know what you want.
Is Angel Gabriel that gave me your number?
No, you know that some men they don't know what they want. All they know is that they should just collect your number. And once they call you, they will start disturbing you with calls. Some don't know when to call and when not to call. And I hate men calling to ask you, have you eaten? Have you taken your bath? Have you done that or have you done this? It's not bad to ask, so, but sometimes it's not necessary. You know, there are some lights and some signals a lady will give to you. That signal mean that she don't need your call again, she don't need you around her. But some men, they fail to recognize or understand that kind of signal. Like me now, if you call me and I'm not interested in you, if I say the first time that I'm not interested in whatever you have to say, and you still keep on trying, because some men believe that if they try, they will get what they want. Maybe the lady will change their mind later on. Me, I don't believe in if you try, you get what you want, as long as I don't have interest in you. So if you call me, I'll tell you what you want. Just go straight to the point and tell me what you want. If you can't say what you want, I'll tell you stop calling me to avoid insult. The way I
Embarrassment.
respect you, respect my own privacy too.
Hmm.
But some men refuse
Okay.
to
Let
understand it that way. So if you call me
they'll
today,
keep calling.
maybe I will not take your call. You call too much, I blacklist your number
Hmm.
to avoid story that touches the heart.
So
And if
what
it's me
about
tomorrow,
when
I'll be
some
cool with you
what
as
what
if
what about just
nothing happened. You'll be the one to say,
yeah.
babe, I call you now. Later, your number no come dey go this. Stay busy. I say, maybe I was busy or I was on call that time.
Okay.
But you won't
Well, some
understand
messages are here.
the
So
language
Chisom,
because
let's take
you were just busy
some
fighting for
messages
what you
here.
can't get. Even if you have to put every other number, that would be my number. Yes.
Okay. Some messages are here. So let's
They
take
will
them.
keep getting their
But
answers.
but
That's just it. Yeah.
okay. Uh, so Chisom,
So
we'll take some messages
someone
here.
to cash.
Yeah, we'll take some messages here again.
I'm with you.
Chief is sending us. Okay, Chief is sending us this message from Dublin, Ireland. Chief Ogbenyalo Udeala Okoye says we need to respect boundaries. You know. Then
You're
Fumilayo
saying something.
Nguzo, Fumilayo Nguzo said she's watching us from United States of Kano. She's always a very funny person. So Ofuani, can we talk about the boundaries that Chief Ogbenyalo had just said? She said we need to respect boundaries. Ofuani, what do you think about that?
Yeah, Chief has actually raised a very vital point. Yeah, we need to respect boundaries. Like, the question you asked, Chisom, I feel people's privacy should be respected. I feel we should respect people's privacy because, I find it very, very appalling when someone, for instance, gets your contact out of the blues and keeps disturbing you. I heard of a situation where someone very close, got to a bank, did her banking transactions, and then because the banker in charge, or the bank, whatever, marketer in charge, you know, pretty much liked her, maybe her looks and all that, went out of his way, got her contact, her details, and her contact, and then began to trouble her. He didn't even approach her in the banking hall. He got the number from maybe the details she produced to the bank and then kept disturbing her, professing love and all that. People should know the boundaries. I mean, that could even, if such a person wanted to take it up, it could actually lead to, you know, it will actually lead to the bank management actually, you know, taking it up on that particular staff. People should respect other people's, you know, privacy. You have you have the person's contact doesn't mean you should contact that person. So I totally want to agree with that person, Archie. You should respect boundaries. You should expect, you should know your boundary. You should know your boundary actually when it comes to phone habits. So that's what I've got to say, Emmanuel, on that.
Yeah, and then the annoying part as well is where you find people who just call people at night. You know that you have my
Yeah.
number, or that maybe we are colleagues or something. It doesn't get to that, especially for people who are married. You know, you might have a female colleague in the
Exactly.
office, and then if you keep calling her at night, even if the husband is liberal, the husband might feel sort of that, why is your colleague calling you at night? I mean, it's not official
It's
hours,
human.
you know. So
Yeah.
yes, he's human, yes, like you said. So some people really lack that ethics, and they don't ask, you know. And another one, it's happening now: Facebook and WhatsApp video calls. People just call you
Mm-hmm.
because they have your number and start calling you on
Mm-hmm.
video. They don't know whether you are in a
Mm-hmm.
meeting or something. I expect, just like Chief Ogbenyalu said, that people should respect before you make a Facebook video call to someone. You need to send a message and say, please, can I call? You know, ask if it's convenient for the person, you know, because you
Absolutely.
don't just call. Yeah, you don't just call. People just take some things for granted, that because we are friends, we are colleagues, or we are even siblings, that we are siblings also doesn't give you that right to just, you know, invade like that without really asking, you know. So it's something that I need to also ask you something. I wish Chisom is
All right.
here. Okay, yes, Chisom is back. So I need to ask her this as well. Chisom, a lot of times men just call women at night, you know, and say, come on, WhatsApp video, let's do WhatsApp or let's do Facebook and all that. How does it make ladies feel? Especially when you and the person are not even intimate to start with. He's not your boyfriend, he's not your husband or fiance. Maybe if your husband travels out of the country or out of the state, we can understand why he wants to do a video call to make sure that you are okay, the kids are okay, or your siblings are okay. But for someone you're just meeting, the next day is calling you on Facebook video and WhatsApp call. It could be really annoying. What do you think?
It's more than annoying itself because because somebody that you just met today, at least call me first on voice call to know if I'm awake or not. I don't joke with my sleep, especially my midnight sleep, because anytime I don't have that midnight rest, I must have headache the next day. So it's annoying for you to be calling somebody by that time. At least you just have to ask yourself, what if this person had a bad day, or maybe this person need rest, and I will be disturbing this person at this time? Is not good. Me, I don't like it. It's very, very annoying. So if a guy should do it to me, the first thing I will ask him is, are you not sleeping? Didn't you check your time before calling me? No, truly speaking, or sincerely speaking, I've done it to somebody, and since then, the person thought that it was something, it was just a joke. But the next morning, I called him and I asked him, even if he's not sleeping, at least he should allow others to sleep. If you want to do any video call or midnight call, you let the person know first before you just, it's just, I'll call that one invasion of privacy.
Mm-hmm.
At least he should know his boundaries, even if you are dating or even if you are not dating. At least somebody you are dating self, he will know the time you are asleep and when you are not asleep. No matter what is bothering that person, he will know when to discuss it with you and when not to discuss it with you. So somebody like that, I told him that he should not try it next time, my boyfriend or not. but you should not try it next time, because me, I won't take it lightly with anybody. I might be online sometimes 12 midnight, 1 a.m. It's just me and my phone, doing whatever I like with my phone. Maybe I'm not feeling sleepy. The only thing I have to do is just to be checking my news, any updates.
Or
That's what
read
I like to
read
do.
things.
But
Yeah.
calling somebody on phone by that time, are you a monitoring spirit? You dey waka for night, dey waka for day at the same time. So it's not good. It's very, very annoying. Me, I don't like it. And it will be the same with other ladies. It depends. Everybody with their own likes and dislikes. But for me, as for me, I don't like it. It's very annoying. It's not good at all. And once you allow that person to turn to habit, imagine a single lady having that midnight call when you are married. That person will not believe that you're still married because you've been doing it before. After chatting with you the whole day, 12 midnight or 1, he'll be calling you on WhatsApp video call or Facebook. It's not good. No matter what you explain to your husband, he won't believe you. He will tell you whatever you are discussing should be done daytime. Business should be done during business hours. Anything about friendship, daytime. But once it's night, it should be you and your family, or you and your husband, or you and your boyfriend. But apart from that, don't discuss anything again with anybody. That's all I have to say. It's very, very
Okay.
annoying.
Uh,
I don't know for others,
Thank you
but
very
for me,
much.
it's very annoying. At least, even
um,
if you caution some men, we add more respect too. I
okay.
know Praise has
I got this
something to
very
say.
praise. Do you want to
Yeah,
say
please.
something? Yeah,
Yeah,
but hold on,
I wanted
hold
to
on.
say,
Just
okay.
hold on. Fumilayo dropped this here, and it's a very funny one. I need to read it. It
Okay.
says, got a call, and it was a wrong number, only for the guy to keep calling me that he likes my voice. He keeps calling until I told him I will send thunder from my village to him to get the message. Praise over to you. Oh, God.
Well, well, that's actually a funny one. Just I wanted to contribute to what Chisom has been saying, and I wanted to just add to what she has been saying. I feel that you should also consider the purpose of the call, whether it's midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., or not. Something happened to a friend of mine recently. His last born got ill, and it was actually really deteriorating at about maybe 2 a.m. thereabout. And then the only person he could call at that point was a married woman who was his neighbor. You understand? And that was the number he had, and he had to call that person at that odd hour of the night. And the person responded and came out, and then you said, so it's actually, that's why I said it depends on the purpose of the call. So if someone is calling you at that time of the night, it should be for a good reason, not just calling you to tell you trash. How did your day go? Hope you ate and all that nonsense. I mean, but if it's for something very serious, then it should be taken into consideration. As for what Fumilayo said, well, she has actually made that's that. Over to you, Emmanuel.
Okay, Chisom, I'll come back to you, but let me read this one from this angle here. It says, my name is Emmanuel Bayo. I usually feel embarrassed to see people, especially Africans, shouting while making calls. I don't know if those
Yeah.
people that usually shout when making calls think that the other person cannot hear them except they shout. Chisom, what do you have to say? Oh, okay. Chisom has gone off. So I'll come back to you, Ofuani. I think we talked about that earlier on. It was even one of the
Yeah.
very first points you raised when we talked about that. So yeah, um, we'll be wrapping up the show soon, and I'm really just having a laugh reading all the messages here. It's so funny. I knew when we talked about when we said we're going to do this topic, we knew it would generate a whole lot of conversations from people because everyone must have had that time. But I was going to ask Chisom, relating it to what you talked about, the man whose son was ill and had to call a neighbor. You know, for that case, it's a different one. There are calls of people who are very close people that you see, even if it's 2 a.m., you will pick. But we're also looking at, like Chisom said, someone you just met 2 days ago, and then the person is calling you at night. It could be very annoying. If Chisom calls me at 1 a.m., no matter how busy I am, I'll pick that call because I know for Chisom to be calling me at that point in time, it must be very important. For you to call me at 4 a.m., I'll even be worried. I will not even I will not look at it that it's my privacy. I'll be worried that for Fuani to be calling me at that point in time, you will know that that is very, very, very necessary. But let me ask Chisom. Chisom, I'm back to you. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, Chisom? Oh, okay. So we're wrapping up soon, Ofuani, but Chisom said something very important that I needed you to address before we wrap up. She said something that some guys could be annoying that they call at all times and start asking some unnecessary questions. Have you eaten? Have you taken your bath? And all that. What do you make of it?
Well, it depends on uh, B. He or she could ask you anything. How did your day go? Have you eaten and all that? It's just a way of saying, okay, I care about you. So it depends on the relation. But if and agree, attend to such persons. But if you're sure it's someone you are with and you're going to be, answer whatever question that person, ask you, because I feel the person is trying to show love, the person is trying to show affection and care. So you should be able to answer such questions, no matter the timing. No matter the timing. Some people may actually be too busy during the day, and it's only at night the person, will be able to ask such questions. Having
Okay, so we're wrapping up.
with you. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, we're wrapping up now. Chisom, what are your final words as we wrap up now? What will be your advice to everyone watching and people who do bad phone habits?
I want people to learn.
Well, my
There are a whole lot
advice
of
for
unhealthy
people.
phone habits that they need to. Okay.
Go on, Chisom.
All right, my advice to everyone watching, they should just make out their time to stay away from their phone. Sometimes when you are too close to your phone, you won't have enough time for your family members or your friends. So if you have time for your family members or your friends, you won't be addicted. I'll call it addict. You won't be addicted to your phone like before. And if you are speaking, if you are on call outside, you just know that you are in the public, because some calls, some discussions are meant to be private, because you don't know who is who and what is around you there. So you just need to keep some calls low or your discussions low. And you should go on a social media cleansing, because sometimes too much of social media is influencing people that they don't even know how to handle their phone. They don't even know their phone habits again, how to conduct themselves when they are outside or when they are using their phones. So they should go on a social media cleansing first by limiting themselves from some socials, from some sites that are not useful to them. For now, that's what I have to say for now.
Okay. Ofuani, over to you. What would be your last word of advice to everyone?
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. People should be cautious. Be cautious because I mean it's just know that there's somebody close to you when you're making your phone calls. Um, be very careful. I mean, if you need to do away with those habits that you know, those unhealthy phone habits that you know you are having, then do away with them. Like Chisom rightly said, we might need to do away with our phone for some time. You know, habits hardly die. And then when it comes to unhealthy phone habits, is a habit is a habit. Yeah, that's why developing such habits on the first hand is not even advisable. But once that such habits have been developed, such person should try and destroy such unhealthy habits like shouting when you're calling, texting where you're walking along the streets, and so many of such that has been mentioned in the program. Try and begin to, it might not die once, but just try and begin to be cautious when you're making that phone call, that next phone call. Try and make sure that your phone is not in your hands and you're texting while walking on the streets. Just be very, very cautious of the next person to you when you're in the public space and all that. So that's my final words of advice. Thank you, Emmanuel.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Ofuani. It's been really, really wonderful. I want to thank everyone who joined us. Everyone, yes, to Karim from Philippine Island in Asia, from Beatrice Annan, Barrister Beatrice, all the way from Accra, Ghana, from Abu, who said he's watching from Kogi State, from Chizelu, who I guess is from Lagos, Chizelu Emejulu. And yes, to Fumilayo, who said she's from the United States of Kano. Aliyu also joined us. Aliyu said he's watching from Nasarawa State in Nigeria. And yes, to everyone, to Chief Ugbenyalo Udiala, she's watching us from Dublin, Ireland. Emmanuel Chika, you didn't tell us where you're watching us from, but all the same, thank you so much for joining us and making very, very, very wonderful contributions. Okay, so that's the size of our program today. I really want to thank all our guests. Ofuani Praise is a counselor, a peer educator, a journalist all the way from Lagos, Nigeria. And Chisom Christabel is a marketing officer in Kano. We were supposed to have Favour Bassie, a girl child educator, a girl child education activist in Ilorin, but somehow network also yanked her off. And Valentine CVC, an auditor living in Kano, who was supposed to also join us, but somehow too, network was just taking him out of the stream. Thank you all for joining, especially my two guests who were able to join us and stayed with us till the end, Chisom and Ofuani. Thank you all. Till we see you all on Tuesday again. We'll be looking at violence against women and children on Tuesday. We actually were supposed to have it on Tuesday, this Tuesday that passed, but somehow network yanked us off. But we had our guests, Chisom from Canada, and then Obioma from Lagos. So we'll be bringing them back on Tuesday next week, God willing, to talk about that and all that. So next week, Saturday, is also Workers' Day, May 1st. So we'll be bringing in a guest from Lagos to talk about mental health and workplace environment, how we can stop work stress. We'll be doing all that to commemorate with all workers as we celebrate the International Workers' Day, May 1st. So you wouldn't want to miss out on our Tuesday and Saturday program. Till I see you all next week, Tuesday, God willing, and next week, Saturday, for another edition. My name is Ambassador Emmanuel Gabari. Thanking you all for joining us, and God bless you all. Have a beautiful Saturday and take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.